In Unit 2, Lesson 4, you're going to be reading an article, It's Tough to Be Homeless in Toronto, and it's getting tougher. So when I first look at a newspaper article, to get the who, what, where, when, why, and how, I first apply my reading strategies. I try to make a prediction at the beginning. I know that this is going to be about homelessness, maybe some of the causes or factors of it, because it talks about why it's tough and it's getting tougher. So I know it's written by Rosie DiMano. I know the story is going to take place, or the article is about Toronto, because it's right in my headline. I know she wrote it January 17th, 2019. So that's when and where the story is taking place and what she's reflecting on. Here again supports my prediction that it's hard to be homeless in Toronto. And here she gives more information that people build nests to survive. I like that she uses a metaphor, spinning a protective cocoon on the streets of Toronto. So I'm going to use my skimming and scanning. I'm looking for some of the major highlights before I read to focus my reading. She talks about in front of St. Michael's Hospital in Toronto, at the bottom of Bay Street, de facto squats. So this is telling me where a lot of the people that are homeless are staying. Again, I scanned through the article. I know we're talking about wintertime because it's cold out here and getting colder. Again, the article is written in January, so very cold time in Toronto. One of the people that are talking here that she's looking at is Crystal Papineau. So that could be a who. I'm hoping that in here I should be able to define why. What are the causes of homelessness? Why is it happening? Talks about a reporter, Emily Mathieu. Okay, and we're getting a little bit of history here, going back to 2017. So Papineau, age 35. Who is Papineau? That's what I've got a question now. Talk a lot about this woman and an organization, Sistering, a women's 24/7 drop-in shelter. So we're going to learn a bit about shelters as well. Okay, so first I've done some skimming and scanning, trying to figure out where it is. I'm also going to go to the questions. Okay, I've already answered some of them. Where or what city is this journalist writing about? I know it's Toronto. Who is the news to report about? I know it's about homelessness, but they're talked about somebody named Papineau. And here I've got a question. Who is Papineau? What is Sistering? Why was she banned? Well, I know it's a person now. That's a woman. How is this relevant? Well, I haven't read the whole article yet, but hopefully by the end, I'll know why this is relevant. Okay, well, I'm going to just sample how to do indirectly stated ideas and information. So these are the underlying information we get in a story. It's not so specific as this. It's not if I read, I will find this. It's more of like inferencing. So I've sort of done a sample answer here. It says, explain what some of the causes of homelessness are. So I've incorporated some of the question into my answer. The causes of homelessness are varied. I need a comma there because I have a breath. One factor is the lack of affordable housing, as many people are working just to cover rent and food. If they lose their jobs, they are often just a couple of paychecks away from being homeless. Well, that's a pretty bold statement, but it could make sense. Another major factor is many people fall through social welfare cracks. Others dove into the crevices by root of addictions, alcoholism, and mental illness. I've taken this directly. I've literally copied this sentence right out of the article. I've used an ellipsis. An ellipsis says that I'm taking out I haven't copied the whole sentence, just the part I found important. I made a lead in so that it blended right into my sentence, and I put it in quotes. That means I've got some important or supporting details as to what the causes of homelessness are. So lack of financial security, lack of social security, and then we have to address the addictions, the alcoholism, and mental health. Mental health or mental illness is often undiagnosed, so people just don't have the skills to cope with what's going on around them. So I've given my opinion, I've added some supporting details, and then I supported my opinion with a follow-up sentence. And then in order to bring this to the next level, I should explain that quote. The factors of mental illness account for many of the people living on the streets. Toronto, not enough supports. And actually, I should clarify what kind of supports. I'm going to say not enough clinical supports for them. In the form of treatment and housing. So now I'm releasing this. And I'm going to refer to, because I've read the story, Papineau is a prime example of how the city of Toronto let her down. Well, I'm making a bold statement there, so I need supporting evidence. So I'm not going to give it all away because I want you to come up with your own ideas. But this is an example of how to go into the article, take out what you've learned, and then apply it to that question. So anyway, I'm going to leave that rest to you. If you have questions as you go through it, feel free to come and call me or email me. And you should be able to identify the lead of this news report. Anyway, take care.